Hello there, big girl slim coming at you. The purpose of this video is to kind of give you an expectation for your consultation appointment. I want to balance it out by saying that things will be different at your consultation appointment based on your surgeon and the center or hospital you choose to do your surgery at or in. I'm not sure. Anyway, just kind of give you an idea. I went in, I had already done a lot of research on the surgery. I had considered doing surgery for a very long time. I did extensive research. I almost did the surgery a few years ago, so I didn't come into this blindly. And in addition to that, my particular hospital that I'm doing my surgery in, they made you do like it was like a little quiz. You had to like watch a video and do some research on the website and then answer questions on the quiz. And until you answered the quiz, all the answers right on the quiz, and printed out the result and faxed it to them, they would not schedule an appointment for you, which was kind of annoying because some of the answer questions were like ambiguous in the way they were asked. I'm just like, I don't know the answer to this, but eventually I got all the answers. So I got it faxed and I was able to get that done and everything. So when I first got there, first of all, they did send me a packet, which I think most places will send you a packet because they have so much information. They want to ask you about, the history of your weight, how long you've been overweight, how you feel about your weight, affects your life, your friendships, your work, and then they ask you about like sleeping. Do you have sleep apnea? Do you snore? This or the other, because they're determining all the different things you have to do prior to being having their surgery. So it was a very big packet. I got the packet, I completed the packet. However, on the day that I had my consultation appointment, I forgot the packet. And I was supposed to get there like 10 to 15 minutes early, and I didn't. I got there like 5 minutes early. So don't do me. Do what they tell you to do, please. So I got there like 5 minutes early. So I was like, oh, did you get the packet in the mail? And I was like, no, I didn't get a packet. And they're like, okay. Like they didn't believe me. And then as I started to fill the packet out, I was like, wait, I did get this packet, and I've already filled out this packet. So I was like, oh man, I lied to them. But I didn't do it on purpose because I really was genuinely like, nah, I didn't get anything. But so I check in really quickly. So I'm completing the packet. They call me back before I'm like not even halfway done. And then the nurse does regular things for her appointment, check your vital statistics. So they check my weight, they check my blood pressure, pulse, all different things like that. And ask me what medications that I'm taking, and I continue to fill out the packet. And then maybe like 5 to 10 minutes later, the PA comes in. She comes to introduce herself. She's like, hey, I'm the PA for so-and-so surgeon. And she asked me a few questions. So we were talking about she asked me what surgery I was considering, and I was telling her why I was considering this sleeve. She's like, okay, I can understand that. I can see why you would want to do that, whatever. And she's like, she's like telling me, oh, don't worry, if you don't get all the information you need now, the appointment's going to go really fast. A lot of people forget what they talk about during their first appointment. It's okay. You can write things down, or if not, don't be too worried about it. You'll go over stuff again. And I was like, okay, cool. And I was like, I was already like, I'm cool because I already researched the surgery, so I wasn't too like, whatever. So and then she like came back in and asked like a random question. And also I have like edema and swelling in my legs, and I do have high blood pressure. So we were talking about that and the medications that I'm taking, and how it's been affecting my leg. And she was looking at it. She was like, yeah, she can still see that I have the edema in my leg. And then she leaves. So surgeon comes in after about 15 minutes. When he comes in with the PA and a medical student. Now, I was already aware that the hospital that I'm doing my surgery in is a teaching hospital. So a lot of times we'll have medical students, interns, different things like that with them in appointments, which I was okay with. I didn't really mind. It would have been cool to be forewarned, but it was fine. It wasn't really a big deal. So they come in, and then he introduces himself. He asks me a few questions like why I want to have the surgery. Then he goes in talking about the different surgery options. He talks about the surgeries, tells me what they do in the actual procedure room, tells me how much weight you lose, all the different stuff, 60-70% of your excess body weight, 70-80% of your excess body weight, all that. So, so he talks about all the different surgeries, and I didn't have very many questions for him because he really just touched on the surgeries only. And I had already done a lot of research on the surgeries, and I told him that I want to do the sleeve. And one thing he said to me, he's like, you know what, do not rule out the bypass just yet, but we'll have more time to talk about it. And that's what he said, and that's okay. So we talked about surgeries, and then he told me all the different things he wants to have me to do. Oh, I was supposed to write these down, but I didn't. Okay, it's okay. He told me all the different things he wanted me to do prior to prior to them submitting my claim to insurance. So I needed to get an EKG done. I need to get an upper GI study done. I need to get labs done. I needed to go to a nutrition appointment. So EKG, labs, upper GI, and then he made me do a sleep consult. Even though on the paperwork that I completed, I don't snore. I don't snore. I do not wake up out of breath. I know I don't have sleep apnea because I had never had a sleep consult appointment. He wanted me to do it anyway. So, which is fine. A lot of times people need to do it because if you do have sleep apnea, they need to have the sleep apnea machine in the operating room when they're doing your surgery. But I was like, I know I don't have sleep apnea, and I was kind of upset that I had to do it, but I was like, you know what, of course I understand. So those are the things that I feel like I'm missing one thing. EKG. It was an EKG, then I had to do the nutrition appointment, I had to do labs, I had to do the upper GI, and then I had to do the sleep consult. I believe that's it. He leaves, and then the nurse coordinator comes in, the person who like coordinates stuff and does scheduling and submits your claims for insurance. Was like, hey, you know, how soon you get to have your surgery is going to determine on how quick you do your stuff, you know, and basically talk about that. And then that was it. I think I was there for a total of 45 minutes, and actually right after I left, I went ahead and did one of the first things because it was right in the same area of the hospital. I went ahead and got my EKG done. So I did my EKG, and that was it. So the first appointment, I would say, I mean, of course, once again, it depends on where you have it done, but I would say don't expect too much. I think I kind of went in expecting like we're gonna have this great heart to, like, not heart to heart, but like it was gonna be great, and I was gonna be feeling great about everything, and it's gonna be like, oh my gosh, you know, we got this. I just thought it would be a little bit more, less like robotic. It just kind of seemed like cookie cutter dry, like here are your options, here's what we do, here's what we do under the surgery, and basically that was pretty much it. And I kind of feel like I paid $35. Or I mean, I know I had to meet him, but I was like, I paid my specialist copay just for you to tell me pretty much information I already knew. But of course it's necessary, and I'm not saying that it wasn't beneficial. He did tell me a few things that I was like, oh, you know, I didn't think about that, I wasn't sure about that. But I would just say go in with an open mind. Don't expect too much, don't expect too less. Just kind of go in with an open mind. If you have questions, write the questions down so you can ask them, because even if I had questions that I thought about before, I didn't write them down. So during the appointment I didn't remember anything to ask, so I ended up leaving not being able to ask any questions. So that's pretty much it. Yeah, all right.